What is up? Last time I unpacked the U-Gears model, unboxed it. Shout out to U-Gears himself for putting my first unboxing and my review of this excellent model that they gave us on their Facebook channel. I'll put a link there in the description that you can go and check out U-Gears Facebook channel and also see my video there. And then you see I've got another shirt on of Crafters Market, and this is where I bought the model. And also a shout out and a thumbs up to Crafters Market for liking my video and subscribing to my channel. And I think I'll see and you'll see probably more of me in the future. So today I want to get into the building of this model. We've got a step-by-step installation here. U-Gears did actually reply to my email and they said that there is a video uploaded at this stage. I think it's only at this stage in a language that I can't understand. So I'm going to try and attempt this just with the book that they gave us. So getting into it, guys, I necessarily not always read the instructions, but I think on this model, because it's all out of plywood and I don't want to break anything and it needs to be mechanical safe and the moving parts, I'll go through the instructions. So they've got a couple of languages. It seems like about 11 languages in English, Ukrainian, Dutch, French, Polish, Spanish, Italian, Turkish, Russian, Korean and Chinese. So there's a lot of information for all of you guys out there that also want to purchase this model. All of those languages are available for you guys to put this together. So it says here the assembly instructions. It says remove the parts from the hanger board as illustrated below, carefully not to break the parts. And I think it's easy to break the parts because this is plywood. It is quite thickish, but I think you still need to be careful when you get the parts out of the board itself. Then if a part does not remove easily, carefully cut it out with a knife. And this model is intended for self-assembly without glue, which is quite nice. And if you have any difficulty installing the axles, try waxing them with a regular candle. And then all moving parts can also be waxed during the assembly to reduce friction when operating this model. Then they've just got a warning over here that they say please do not use a lighted candle because I think you're going to set the model into flames, which is quite funny. I love it. Alright, then we've got our legend over here. I'm actually going to show it to you like this. So this is just on each page. I probably think we'll have the legends next to each of the sketches and the assembly itself. First one is wax the part with a regular candle, rub it with a candle. There is break off or cut out. That one is just pay attention, check for the correct orientation and position or position. Then you have to sand some of the burrs off on some of the parts. That just says here that some parts must rotate or move easily, and then that last one is perform the same step as a mirror image. Then they also included in the pack, they included like toothpick, and it says here in English the axle. I don't know if those photos there are the axle itself, but it says here that the toothpicks is not a structural component, but it is a tool for measurement and assembly. So yes, they've also got, I see they've got this Add Plus, and it seems like, I don't know if there's like a measuring thing or whatever it is, but I think when we get into it we'll actually see what happens. So on this one, it basically, what I'm going to try and attempt in this first video is just the main assembly of the engine block, getting all the engine block finished up, and to have it looking at the end of the day like we've got it in the picture over there. So I think I'm going to make a couple of videos. I actually wanted to do a time-lapse video of this, but I think there's so much to do and so much explaining, and I want to show you guys my progress as I go. So maybe 5, 6 or 10 maybe videos, and then as I get into the building of it, maybe we'll go faster. So guys, I'm just gonna cut here, and I'm quickly gonna get all my tools in order, get everything set up so that we can start with the U9 racing car. I got all my tools. I've got some sanding paper here, I've got a candle. We'll still get into that. I don't know actually how they want us to use it. I already cut my toothpicks as they show you in the illustration itself. I just cut off some of the one side, all the sharp bits. So alright, now this is the first plywood tablet that we're gonna need. It is actually numbered on the back, it seems like it. At the front as well, so you can see there's number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on and so forth. So what we're going to use for this part of the build is basically all the engine compartments. So I don't want to actually break anything. It seems like that just clips out there, which is quite easy to do, and we'll put that to the side. And then I think all of these needs to be taken out as well as showed. So it's actually quite easy to just break it out. Just make sure that you don't break the parts itself. Alright, the first one was easy, and now it's getting to that stage where I don't want to break anything. So yes, it is quite difficult to take out, but with a little bit of effort and not a lot of force, you can actually remove it quite easy from the bracket itself that it's in. Just want to get all of this out. So I think when you guys do it at home as well, start with the part that's got the most wood and not the parts that's cut, and that's fine. Otherwise you might end up breaking that part, and I don't necessarily think there's replacement parts. There probably will be if you contact U-Gears, or maybe just another sheet. But yeah, we'll and now I actually done it completely wrong, because I took out all the parts and I shouldn't have actually. Alright, so let's make head and tails of what I just did here. It seems like all of them are the same. They don't line up completely, so I think we just need to get them in the correct position. Something like that. Let's just see. Okay, so these are 2 of the same, these 2 of the same, and the last couple. Alright, so part number 1 is basically these ones that's got all the holes, as you can see there. A couple of holes on the top, these bigger holes. So that is number 1, and on that they basically want us to take our toothpicks that we just cut out, and we need to stick it through. I just want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. So it basically wants us to put it through here, or not that one there. They want to have us put it through the middle portion here, and yeah, it is quite sticky to get in, and I think that's what they maybe imply with the wax itself. So I think that is just what they want us to do. It's just to line up all the parts correctly. Like I say, they say there is no glue that's used in this model, so I think everything will fit in quite nicely. So they've got 5 over here. I think I'm just going to use 3 for now and see. I think that's why they ask us to cut the bottoms off, because you actually need to push them in quite far. And I maybe think that is what they want us to do. It's just to get the correct placement of it. So that is part number 1. Part number 2 is this one over here. It's got the smaller holes in there. I think you guys can see there quite nicely. So this basically just goes on top of that for the correct position. I'm just making sure that it's like it's supposed to be, and that everything lines up, that it alright. So I actually took the wrong part there. It seems like all of them are cut, and that, I think that's why when you need to take them out here, look at the numbering, guys, and keep them in that order so that you don't make the mistakes that I'm making. Alright, so they want us to basically just stick this through and get it into the position. And now this is where the fun comes in, because you must be very careful that you don't bend or break these parts. They are of decent quality, but if you're going to force it, you are, or you might end up with a broken part, and that's not going to be very nice. So we've got part number 1, part number 2 we've got in place, and then part number 3 and I just messed it up. So this is not the correct part actually, guys. This is the one that needs to go on top, not in the middle. So let's just try and remove this as carefully as we can, not to break anything. Sorry for being so quiet, but I don't want to mess this up. I think we should actually just maybe go like that and just take it out completely. Okay, so that is out. Let's just stick this one back in. That's why we need to read. Okay, so this one needs to come, you basically see here, I want to place this, so you basically, that one comes right at the top, and then that one there in the middle. So now we just need to sort out which one is which. You see, the thing is why they cut it and why they labeled it, because you see they don't line up, these two. So I think we just use the other one. And as you can see, that one lines up quite perfectly with the one that we've got in place already. So let's just get this stuck in there. Alright, so there we go. So we've got part number 1 and part number 2 in place, and then part number 3 is going straight on the top. I must say, I think this model is going to look pretty awesome when it's done. There you can see all of it in place now. It's got the 3 layers in there. If you look at it from the back, you can actually see holes in there with smaller holes through it. So the detail is quite nice, and I like it. Alright, so let's just get that stuck in a bit deeper. Alright, so that is it. And I think then we just need to do the reverse as well. So let's get into that. So I just want to make sure that I've got it the correct way around. Because basically the one needs to go there and the other one needs to be the other way around. Which is quite hectic. I think I prematurely took it out of its bracket, and I might end up struggling and might having to do it over again. But I just want to make sure that I've got it in like I'm supposed to have it in. So as you can see, that one is like that, and the other one is basically the other way around. So from there we have to add our port number 2 onto this. And like I say again, the nice detail with all the holes in there. And then port number 3, other way around, goes on top of all of them. Alright, so there we have it. There we have the first part assembled. So we've got our 2 main components of our engine block. Alright, so for number 3, I just want to make sure, okay, so number 3 and number 4 is basically those 2. It just says here number 4, it says there number 3, but that's just step 3. These ones take out quite easily. So for these 2, just want to make sure that we've got it the correct way around again. So it seems like on this one we place the one like that, as you can see there, and for the other one in the same fashion we do it vice versa and get that on there as well. Alright, so there we have the 2 assembled. Alright, so from now on, so now we've got 2 of them. It basically says, I just want to make sure that we are correct. Basically got that one, and then we've got another one which is like this, which I think is the wrong way around. I think they should be similar. They actually, I mean, if they go and sit in the engine bay like that, it's basically similar with that being at an angle and that being at an angle. So I think that's what they intend us to do. Alright, so for step number 6, we need to take out part number 13. And part number 13 is this long, it's like an axle shape. And now this is where it's quite scary to not break this, because like I say, if you go and break it, it's going to be a mess. Alright, so that is part number 13, and then part number 14 is all of these small little, it seems like rockers almost, and we need to remove all 16 of them. So there's 8 and there's another 8. So let's go and try to take them out as easily as we can. I've actually just taken out the whole block where they're situated in, and now we need to get them out of the block itself. Okay, so they come out quite easily. I think I just, no, I didn't. I thought I broke one, but luckily I didn't. So on these ones they actually want us to sand it down, because there's a lot of burr that's still left on them when you take them out of the housing. Let's just make sure to remove all of this as good as we possibly can, not to damage any of them, because then in the model itself it's not going to look pretty. It's quite, it feels like every time I remove them that I'm going to break them, but they are quite sturdy. Let's just put them to the one side here. Let's just take out all the rest of the cap that we've got here, and then you'll see all of them has got like a little triangle at the bottom. That also needs to be removed from the part itself. Alright, so for all of this I'm just going to do a bit of sanding, and then we'll assemble the rocker part of the motor. I've basically took all my rockers and I've sanded them down. You can actually see there was a lot of burr on the back there, or on the sides when I removed them from the socket or the position in the plywood. And then they want us in the next step, number 6, and you basically can see what I've done there is I've just taken a candle to it a little bit. I think that's just for easy assembly. I've tried one. It is, we'll see, but it doesn't feel like it wants to go over. Hopefully we get it over in one piece. So basically they want us to get that in there, and again this is now one of those parts where it's quite difficult, but it does go over. So got the first one in place there, and I must say what they implied with the wax of the candle is actually working, because when I first attempted this, just to put it over like normal, it was quite difficult. So we've got 2 of the rockers in place there, and let's just continue. I actually thought this was going to be much more difficult, but it seems like it's turning out to be very easy, especially when you wax it a bit and you get just a little bit of wax on it, so that the parts can actually flip in there or move in there. So I actually thought all these rockers are going to be fast or tightly against the plywood on this axle, but it's actually loose, and I think that's just for the moving of it itself when the model starts working. So yeah, let's just get all of them quickly in there. There's 16 of them that I need to put in here. Okay, so yeah, it actually when it starts wearing out a little bit, it is actually much easier to put them into position. Okay, and the last one, number 16, got in position over there. So that is basically the completed part. You can see it there, all of them are quite loose, but I think that's how they intend, because I think they will probably move with the motor itself when it starts turning. Let's just get all the candle wax out of here. So yeah, that is part or step number 6 complete as well, and we actually got it looking like it's supposed to. Welcome back. I actually made a mistake. All my video recorders stopped recording. So yeah, I'm just gonna bring you back. I see this video is actually going a bit long, so I think after I've done with what I need to do here, I'm just gonna cut it, post it, and then I'll just make another video of the completion of the engine bay. So guys, what I've done was, when I first initially got into the rockers, well, not the rockers, the pistons itself, I actually, when I tried to put it in, and you'll see on this one here, I actually tried to clip it in, but there's actually an easier way to do it. So for all of you guys out there that's watching, as you can see, I broke this one at the top. Luckily there was a spare included, so thank you very much UGS for that. So what you actually need to do is you need to slide them in like that there, and you can see it's actually fitting quite nicely. I'm not going to slide it all the way in, because then I'm going to struggle again to take it out. So basically I've completed all of this. Our pistons will sit there at the bottom. So what you need to do is, which was just easier to myself, is basically just have it in position over there, and then the part that slides in, or that goes on top of that one, just basically slides from the side. And please don't try and clip it in, because you are going to break it. So that basically just slides in there. Just line it up correctly. Alright, so it goes into position quite easily actually if you do that, and not what I tried to do by clipping it in. So basically there we've got all our pistons, got 8 of them in place, 4 on each side for the different sides of the engine or the block itself. Alright guys, so I don't know how long this video has been. I've completed my main part of my engine block. As you can see, this is basically where my pistons goes in. I've completed my rockers. That's basically gonna, I think it's gonna work on this as well. I don't know, we'll see when we get further into the model. And I've got my pieces for my rocker that's on my axle itself. So what I'm gonna do is, like I say, this part I've actually recorded, but my video recorder stopped working, like I said. I think I'm actually gonna cut it here. I'm just gonna continue on, and I'll just make another video as well. So guys, if you like this video, like, subscribe, and share this video as well. I'm also going to send it through to you guys again, so maybe they'll post it on Facebook. And like I said in the beginning of the video, check out the links in the description for Crafters Market, where I get the model from, and check out UGS themselves, because they've got plenty of other models that you can build. And I think actually this is one of my best builds to this day, and thank you very much for UGS for bringing us this. I think it's absolutely brilliant that there is stuff like this on the market for hobbyists, and thank you very much. Cheers.